The goal of education is not only to help students develop content knowledge and skills, but to prepare them for success after graduation. Limited time with students can make it difficult to focus on the development of important social and personal competency skills, such as self-awareness, self-confidence, self-control, communication skills, teamwork, and problem-solving skills. To accomplish this agenda, it is important to fully integrate both academic and social and personal competency instruction simultaneously across all grades, courses, and activities. Otherwise, it will be one more item or task that is competing for the teacher and student attention. So, just how can this be accomplished realistically and practically? The Tennessee Department of Education, in collaboration with the Center on Great Teachers and Leaders and the Appalachia Regional Comprehensive Center, is happy to present a series of online modules that introduce you to social and personal competencies and teaching practices that support the academic, social, and personal skills development of all students. The online modules not only help you support students, but also provide you with an opportunity to reflect on your practice and provide a space for you to think about your own social and personal well-being. Through this introductory module, you will learn about what social and personal competencies are and how to support social and personal competencies and how to use the additional online learning modules. You may be asking why social and personal competencies, sometimes called social and emotional learning, or SEL, is important for student success. Student learning is enhanced when teachers integrate social and personal competencies with academic learning. For example, when students develop social and personal competencies, they're more motivated to learn and have stronger commitments to school. This can be seen through improved attendance and graduation rates. Students also are less likely to act out in class, get suspended, or be held back when there is a focus on social and personal competencies in schools. In addition, when students develop social and personal skills, they can better manage their interactions at home or when issues in their neighborhood spill over into the classroom. Take a moment and think about how supporting social and personal competencies in your classroom can impact you specifically. For example, could it increase the time you have to instruct, improve the relationships you have with students and students with their peers, increase parent satisfaction, or improve the climate in your classroom and school? These positive outcomes were confirmed in a major review of programs that support students' social and personal competencies in schools. A 2011 study reviewed 213 research studies that focused on the implementation of SEL programs. The researchers found that students who participated in SEL programs demonstrated an increase in social and emotional skills, positive attitudes, and pro-social behaviors, as compared with students not in these programs. Students who participated in these programs also had an 11 percentile point increase in academic achievement, as measured by standardized test scores, compared with students who did not participate. Furthermore, these students had a decrease in conduct problems and indicators of emotional distress. These findings were consistent across grade level, elementary to high school, as well as whether the students were located in a suburban, rural, or urban setting. Not only does research demonstrate that participation in SEL programs improves important skills for student success, a recent study by Jones and colleagues found that social and emotional skills are important for student success later in life. For example, Jones and colleagues found that teachers' ratings of student social competence in kindergarten predicted students' chances of college graduation and full-time employment by age 25. As you can see, research demonstrates that it is critical for educators to focus on not only academic skills, but also the social and personal skills students need to be successful in school and in life. Now take a moment and think about how supporting social and personal competencies in your classroom can impact you specifically. For example, could it increase the time that you have to instruct, improve the relationships that you have with students and students with their peers, increase parent satisfaction, or improve the climate in your classroom and school? According to the Collaborative on Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning, or CASEL, SEL is the process of developing students' and adults' social and personal competencies. That is, it's the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and behaviors that individuals need to make successful choices. SEL promotes activities that develop an individual's abilities to recognize and manage emotions, build relationships, solve interpersonal problems, and make effective and ethical decisions. SEL is considered a universal intervention or Tier 1 approach. In other words, everyone can benefit from training, skill development, and supports to develop social and personal competencies. Many people assume that practices that support social and personal competencies are only done at the beginning of the year, or includes only those individuals who have emotional or behavioral concerns. However, everyone benefits from developing strategies to help manage stress, build more meaningful relationships with others, and solve problems in a responsible way. Tennessee's framework includes 5 core social and personal competencies. Each addresses multiple skills that students need to be successful in school and their future careers. Self-awareness refers to an individual's ability to recognize one's emotions and know one's strengths and limitations. Self-management refers to an individual's ability to regulate and control one's emotions and behaviors, particularly in stressful situations. Social awareness refers to one's ability to take the perspective of others, demonstrate empathy, acknowledge and appreciate similarities and differences, and understand how one's actions influence and are influenced by others. Relationship skills refer to individuals exhibiting pro-social skills and behaviors in order to develop meaningful relationships and resolve interpersonal conflicts. Responsible decision-making refers to one's use of multiple pieces of information in order to make ethical decisions and make responsible decisions. Handout 1, Student Social and Personal Competencies and Skills, provides an overview of skills that correspond with each social and emotional competency. Take a minute to review the definitions and skills in Handout 1. As you review the skills within each competency, think about how you incorporate these skills within your instruction. Also think about how you address the skills students need to successfully navigate the schooling experience. Although the entire school community, including teachers, administrators, counselors, other support staff, and families, plays a role in supporting students' social and emotional skill development and should be engaged in social and personal competency supports, the primary audience for these online modules is classroom teachers, specifically classroom teachers who want to learn more about and integrate social and emotional learning into their classrooms. The aim of each module is to help you reflect on your current practice, see what social and emotional learning practices look like in action, and provide you a chance to develop action steps for incorporating them in your classroom. You can complete them on your own or with a team, such as in a professional learning community or departmental or faculty meetings. Additional information, such as presentation files, are available for team study. The modules don't have to be completed in any specific order, but rather you or your team should decide which practice or practices you want to focus on. You can also complete them at your own pace, reviewing any of the information as often as you prefer. There are multiple ways in which teachers can implement social and personal competencies in their classrooms. You can use a social and personal competency program or provide instruction targeting social and emotional skills. For example, you may set time aside in class to specifically teach students how to communicate effectively with their peers. You can integrate social and personal competency instruction with core academic content. For example, a language arts teacher could teach empathy through the story being read and discussed in class, or a social studies teacher can explore the social implications of historical events on students today. You can implement practices that encourage a safe and supportive learning environment. For example, you may greet students as they enter each class period, modeling good social and personal skills for students, as well as creating and maintaining a supportive emotional tone in the classroom. Finally, you can help students develop social and personal skills through the general teaching practices you employ. For example, you might teach students how to resolve interpersonal conflicts as they work in cooperative groups. Although each approach is important and can work together to help students develop and apply their social, emotional, and academic skills, the focus of this series of modules is on how to implement practices that support social and personal competencies through explicit teaching practices that augment academic content instruction. To help you specifically address social and personal competency needs in your classroom, the Tennessee Department of Education has adopted 10 teaching practices that promote social and personal competencies that any teacher can use in the classroom. These 10 teaching practices were drafted by content experts from American Institutes of Research and reviewed by a panel of SEL experts, including teachers, teacher educators, and other SEL experts. These set of teaching practices can help all students master academic standards and develop their social and emotional skills. The 10 practices are divided into two types of teaching approaches: social teaching practices and instructional teaching practices. Although both sets of teaching practices incorporate aspects of social and instructional interactions, social teaching practices focus on the development of social and emotional skills and providing the structures for students to learn those skills. The instructional teaching practices provide opportunities for students to apply and further develop their social and personal competencies during academic activities. Social teaching practices include student-centered discipline, teacher language, responsibility and choice, and warmth and support. Instructional teaching practices include cooperative learning, classroom discussions, self-assessment and self-reflection, balanced instruction, academic press and expectations, and competence building. These 10 teaching practices are the focus of the remaining modules in this online learning series. There's one module per practice that you can explore. You also can find more information about each of the 10 practices in Handout 2, 10 Teaching Practices that Support Social and Personal Competencies, the Tennessee Social and Personal Competency Toolkit, or on the Center on Great Teachers and Leaders website. Tennessee chose to focus on these 10 teaching practices because they're aligned with the teaching practices that are supported in the Teacher Educator Accelerator Model, or TEAM, teacher evaluation process. Therefore, they not only help educators implement practices that support the development of students' social and personal skills, but also help educators further refine their practices that are supported by the TEAM General Education rubric. These 10 practices are ones that you've probably heard about and are likely already implementing in your classroom to some degree. Thus, SEL implementation doesn't have to be an add-on or something new. You can implement social and personal competency teaching practices with what you're already doing by just continuing current efforts or being more explicit and deliberate in your approach. For example, you can think about how you can help students actively listen to one another as you set up your cooperative learning groups. Tennessee has a deep interest and investment in social and personal competency development, and as such, has aligned the expectations of the 10 teaching practices within the different components of the Tennessee Educator Acceleration Model, otherwise commonly referred to as the TEAM Standards for Teacher Evaluation. In each module, as you explore the different teaching strategies that undergird effective social and personal learning, explicit connections to the Tennessee TEAM standards will be presented. Because the teaching practices are aligned to the TEAM General Educator rubric, you may find completing a module can support practices that are consistent with the significantly above expectations category on the TEAM rubric. In fact, Completion of these online modules can be a good professional learning activity related to your evaluation results. Each module is divided into 2 sections. The first section is an overview of one of the 10 teaching practices, including why the practice is important and how it supports social and personal development. Within the overview, you will find an introduction and objectives that describe potential learning outcomes for the module, benefits that students might expect when teachers incorporate the teaching practice effectively in the classroom, the alignment of the social and personal competency teaching practice to the team general education rubric, a self-assessment in which you will assess your current implementation of the practice, and short classroom videos of each practice that allow you to see it in action, including questions you should consider as you observe educators implementing the practice. The second section of each module includes a detailed exploration of the teaching practice that includes a description of what the practice looks like in the classroom and multiple strategies that can be easily incorporated into existing instruction and implemented in your classroom. Each module concludes with an opportunity for you to reflect on the practice, relevant teaching strategies, and suggestions for action steps to help you incorporate the practice in your classroom. Each module also contains a short evaluation survey and links to all handouts you'll need to complete the activities in the module. A handout for each module also includes the references and additional resources for each practice. Each of the modules is designed to give you control over how you view and navigate them. You'll find several ways to progress through the modules, repeat sections, or skip ahead to those you are most interested in. You'll find navigation at the bottom of each module window. The controls on the left allow you to pause or play the module or to skip forward or backward. The controls on the right allow you to control the volume as well as speed of playback, in case you'd like to slow down or speed up. The arrows on the far right allow you to view the module full screen. Press it again to reduce the size, or you can also press your Escape key on your keyboard. You'll also find a Table of Contents button that will allow you to skip to any slide you prefer. In addition, each section is divided by tabs on the left that correspond to different parts of the module. Each has an icon for different sections, like Big Ideas, the Team Standards, or Self-Evaluation. Click on any of the tabs on the left to skip to those sections. To help you get started with social and personal competency implementation, we also want to provide you with some organizations that have additional resources that can help you along the way. These include the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning. 2 key resources are the 2013 and 2015 Castle Guides, which outline SEL programs with the most rigorous research base for preschool through high school. The Center on Great Teachers and Leaders has an SEL school that provides tools and strategies to integrate SEL with college and career readiness standards and teacher evaluation systems. Edutopia provides an online learning hub for SEL research, videos, and classroom materials. The National Clearinghouse on Supportive School Discipline reviews SEL research, tools and strategies, and examples of SEL practice in schools. The ASCD Whole Child Initiative provides a variety of tools and resources to help educators learn about and implement SEL in school. Handout 3, Getting Started with Social and Personal Competencies, Additional Resources and References, provides additional information and resources for teachers and administrators on how to implement a strategic social and personal competency effort, including the resources found within the previous slide. In addition, the handout provides the references associated with this introductory module. Finally, this handout provides contact information for the Tennessee Department of Education if you have any questions, wish to find out more information, or would like to provide input on these modules. Thank you again for participating in the Introduction to Social and Personal Competency online module. We encourage you to complete the online evaluation of the learning module. We also encourage you to review the other online modules that provide knowledge, tools, resources, and strategies to embed social and personal competencies within your classroom. The Tennessee Department of Education developed this online module in collaboration with the Center on Great Teachers and Leaders and the Appalachia Regional Comprehensive Center, which are funded by the U.S. Department of Education. If you want to find out more information about the online modules or social and personal competencies, please contact the Office of Safe and Supportive Schools, Division of Student Support Services at the Tennessee Department of Education. Thank you for participating in the overview module on social and emotional learning. We hope that you find the 10 learning modules useful and provide concrete suggestions to refine your practice and support the development of students' social, emotional, and academic skills.